Dark forests hide secrets that no one is ready to face. In this video, we're diving into the creepiest forest encounters ever recorded, where strange figures, chilling sounds, and disturbing sightings were all caught on camera. Stay tuned, because what you're about to see will leave you questioning what really lurks in the woods at night. Cougar. A peaceful walk can turn into pure terror in seconds, and that's exactly what happened on the Slate Canyon Trail in Utah. A man was enjoying his hike when he suddenly found himself face-to-face with a cougar. Now, cougars are known to avoid people most of the time, often slipping away without causing trouble, but this one wasn't in the mood to walk away. For 6 long minutes, the big cat stalked and chased him down the trail, keeping a steady, unsettling pace. It wasn't a sprint, but that made it even scarier because at any second the cougar could have decided to attack with ease.
No. No.
Every step felt like borrowed time, and the man knew it. What saved him wasn't speed, but survival instincts and sheer luck. He managed to keep moving, stay loud, and record the entire chilling encounter. That video later went viral because no one would have believed such a slow, tense chase without proof. Experts say if you ever meet a cougar, the best move is to stand tall, wave your arms, and make as much noise as possible. Just don't lock eyes with it. And above all, stay away from its young or territory. This hiker waded out alive with only shaken nerves, and his story remains a powerful reminder that nature is both beautiful and brutally dangerous. Black-eyed ghost. Something strange was caught on a drone flying over a place called Cannock Chase, one of the most haunted forests in Great Britain. At first, the drone glides smoothly across the trees, but then it suddenly stops. On the edge of the forest, a shadowy figure appears, standing quietly among the trees. The drone even turns back as if trying to get a closer look, and the figure almost looks like a ghost with black eyes just waiting to be seen. Many stories over the years claim that people feel watched in this forest, as if something from the past still lingers there. But here's the twist. Things don't add up. The video isn't one continuous shot. It cuts and jumps between scenes, and when the figure shows up, it looks like they step forward just in time for the camera. That's no ghost. That's someone playing dress-up. The drone never even moves closer, which feels like they didn't want the trick to be exposed. It's creepy at first glance, sure, but when you look carefully, it seems more like a staged hoax than a real haunting.
Silent gorilla encounter. Deep in the forest, a group of people suddenly froze when a massive gorilla stepped out from the thick bushes. But instead of charging or roaring like movies often show, the gorilla simply walked past them, calm and unbothered, as if they weren't even there. In another clip, the same thing happened to a different group, except this time the gorilla actually stopped and waited, almost politely, for the people to clear the way before moving along. Watching it feels surreal because pop culture often makes us think gorillas are always aggressive, but here they showed a side of patience and intelligence that few get to witness. What makes this even more fascinating is how both groups reacted wisely. They didn't scream, run, or try to touch the animal. They just let the gorilla do its thing. And when it was over, you can see the nervous laughter and shock on their faces because that kind of close encounter is something you never expect in a lifetime. Nature has a way of surprising us like this, sometimes peaceful, sometimes dangerous, and always unforgettable. If things had gone differently, the story could have been terrifying, but instead it became a once-in-a-lifetime memory of meeting one of nature's true giants up close. Bear attacks van. It all started in Japan, where 2 men entered a forest to collect wild onions. Everything seemed peaceful until they spotted a mother bear with her cub near the roadside. At first, nothing happened because the men kept their distance, but the real problem began when their van accidentally drove between the mother and her cub. That simple mistake was enough to set off the bear's protective instincts. the mother bear charged at the van with full force. She slammed into it, cracked the windshield, and left the vehicle badly damaged. The men inside were terrified, but luckily they stayed safe. This scary encounter shows just how dangerous it can be to cross paths with a mother bear. When it comes to protecting her cubs, she will stop at nothing, and even a van isn't strong enough to hold her back.
Amazon Tribe. Deep inside the Amazon rainforest, there are not only wild animals and strange plants, but also hidden human tribes that have lived there for centuries. One of them is the Awa tribe, people who call the forest their only home. They hunt, gather, and survive in ways that modern society has long forgotten. For them, the rainforest is life itself, and they've stayed untouched by the outside world for generations. But here's where the story turns dark. Governments and companies see the forest as a treasure chest of wood and resources, and the Awa stand in their way. Instead of protecting these people, some authorities have tried to force them out, and in some cases, even wipe them out completely. All of this just for profit, leaving the tribe fighting for their survival against a world that values money more than humanity. Glowing eyes. Dark forests can play strange tricks on you. Imagine sitting around a fire with your friends, laughter slowly fading as night closes in, when suddenly you hear faint noises coming from the trees. Then it happens, two glowing eyes staring right back at you from the shadows. Your heart races, you point it out, but by the time anyone else looks, the eyes are gone. Many people have experienced this eerie moment, and while it feels supernatural, the truth is, those eyes aren't glowing at all, they're just reflecting light. What creature they belong to depends on where you are, but one thing's for sure, when it happens, stay calm, don't go closer, and always be ready to protect yourself if needed.
Moose attack. A quiet road turned into pure chaos when a massive moose decided to pick a fight with a parked car. It was rutting season, the time when male moose get aggressive and usually clash antlers to impress females. But instead of another moose, this giant saw the car as its opponent. With powerful antlers scraping and smashing, the poor vehicle took the beating. Luckily, the driver wasn't inside and managed to capture the wild moment on camera. Moose may look calm and harmless most of the year, but during rutting season, they can become dangerously unpredictable, so keeping your distance is the smartest choice. Wild boar encounter. Strange things can happen when you run into a wild animal, and that's exactly what happened deep inside the forest of Dean. Wild boars are known to be dangerous, strong, and destructive creatures that can ruin crops and even attack if they feel threatened. But in this case, something unexpected happened. A wild boar walked calmly toward a group of men, stared at them for a few seconds as if it was testing their reaction, and then peacefully walked away. It wasn't aggressive at all, and because the men also stayed calm, nothing bad happened. Luckily, it wasn't a big male with tusks, or this story could have ended very differently. Encounters like this remind us that wild boars are unpredictable, and being careful in their territory is always the smartest choice. Safari attack. Safaris look like fun adventures, but sometimes they can turn into terrifying experiences. In South Africa, a safari bus came face-to-face with a massive bull elephant, and things quickly went out of control. The elephant, clearly unhappy, didn't just charge at the bus. It actually lifted the entire vehicle several times with its tusks. Imagine being stuck inside with no way to escape, knowing that running wasn't even an option because the elephant could easily chase you down. Some people blamed the driver for getting too close, while others said it was just bad timing. Either way, this moment shows that safaris may look exciting, but they come with real dangers that you must never ignore.
Bear at the tent. Waking up in the woods should feel peaceful, but this camper's morning turned into pure fear. While resting in his tent, he suddenly heard strange noises right outside. Curious yet cautious, he slowly unzipped the flap and froze in shock. A huge bear stood only a few feet away, silently staring at him. Heart racing, he quickly shut the flap and screamed as loud as he could, hoping the bear would leave. After what felt like forever, the noises faded, and when he finally stepped outside, the bear was gone. Luckily, it never attacked the tent, because if it had, things could have ended very differently. Angry giraffe. Nobody expects a giraffe to be scary, but this story from Kenya will shock you. During a safari ride, a massive giraffe suddenly charged toward the vehicle with unbelievable speed. Not only did it catch up, but it actually ran past the Jeep, blocked the path at a creek, and forced everyone to back away while it kept chasing them. Seeing such a calm-looking animal turn fierce and powerful was both terrifying and amazing. But when you remember the dangers giraffes face in the wild, it makes sense why they have this hidden speed and strength. Curious giraffe. This scene starts with something heartwarming. A giraffe slowly walking toward a young man riding his bicycle. But instead of being aggressive, the giraffe was just curious. It calmly stepped closer, stretching its long neck to get a better look at him, almost as if it was trying to figure him out. The man stayed cool, not trying to touch the animal, which was a smart move, because wild animals can change moods quickly. Still, the whole moment felt peaceful, almost like a friendly meeting between two very different worlds, and both of them surely walked away with an unforgettable memory. Bear chase. A chilling moment unfolded when a woman found herself being chased by a bear. It wasn't the wild sprint you'd expect, but even a slow chase from a bear is terrifying when you're the one being followed. The bear had its cubs nearby, and like any protective mother, it charged to push her away. Instead of panicking, the woman kept her cool, moving steadily and keeping a safe distance until the bear finally gave up. Once she reunited with her group, she warned them about the bears close by. Her calm reaction saved her life and turned a dangerous encounter into a story she could share. Bear on the trail. Out of nowhere, danger showed up on a quiet hiking path when a huge bear suddenly appeared and locked its eyes on a man walking alone. This wasn't just a curious glance. The bear was clearly stalking him, and every step felt like a test of survival. Instead of panicking, the man stayed calm, slowly stepping backward while keeping eye contact, ready with his bear spray if needed. Luckily, he didn't have to use it and managed to escape safely, but later he admitted that in those tense moments, his fear was very real, and who wouldn't be? Bigfoot. Every time this name comes up, it sparks mystery and debate. For decades, people have claimed to see a huge hairy creature roaming the forests, and many believe it's real, while others laugh it off as a myth. Countless videos and blurry photos keep surfacing, and even TV shows were made to hunt down Bigfoot, but they all ended without proof. The clips you're watching now are said to be encounters with this creature, but the truth is, no one has ever brought forward a real body. And that's why Bigfoot remains one of the world's biggest unsolved mysteries. Cute but risky fox. A calm road turned into a surprising moment when a woman spotted a wild fox staring at her from a distance. Instead of running away, the fox seemed curious and slowly came closer. The woman felt safe enough to stretch out her hand, and the fox gently sniffed it before walking off to rejoin its group. It looked like a sweet and harmless meeting, but here's the risky part. Foxes can carry dangerous diseases like rabies. One wrong move or a single bite could have turned this heartwarming encounter into a serious medical emergency. Alien puppets in Brazil. Something strange shook Brazil when a clip went viral showing what looked like aliens nearly 3 meters tall walking down a hill. At first, it sounded shocking, but the moment you watch closely, it feels more like a prank than a real encounter. The people filming were laughing instead of panicking, which makes it hard to believe they were seeing actual aliens. Many viewers said it looked like puppets or props, and since those mysterious figures were never seen again, most believed the whole thing was staged just to grab attention. Mysterious forest sounds. Strange noises echoed through the dark forest, unlike anything people had ever heard before. This wasn't about spotting Bigfoot in the shadows, but about terrifying sounds that locals recorded deep in the woods they lived in. Forests are usually full of natural noises, but these sounds didn't match any animal they knew, leaving everyone shaken and confused. The mystery of what was making those chilling calls made the forest feel even more dangerous, and anyone who heard them admitted they wouldn't stick around for long.
Whale in the forest. Strange things have been found in forests, but nothing as shocking as this. In Brazil, people discovered the huge body of a dead humpback whale lying deep inside the forest. Whales belong in the ocean, not among trees, so this sight left everyone stunned. The mystery of how it died is still unsolved, but how it ended up there has an explanation. When heavy floods hit the area, the whale's body was carried inland by the strong waters. Once the floods went down, the giant creature was left stranded in the middle of the forest. A sight like this is rare and eerie, making it one of the most talked about discoveries in Brazil. Bikers and tigers. Picture this, a group of bikers riding peacefully on a forest road when suddenly two massive tigers step out of the wild and start walking toward them. The bikers freeze in fear, knowing one wrong move could end badly. But instead of attacking, the tigers act strangely calm, almost curious, circling around the men and even sitting close to them for a while. The bikers stay completely still, not daring to start their engines because speeding off might have triggered a deadly chase. It feels less like real life and more like a tense movie scene, but this chilling encounter was all too real. Forests may look peaceful, but these encounters prove they hide terrifying secrets. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more chilling stories.